What's up, everyone? Dan here, Crypto Capital Venture, May 21st, 2019. I hope you're doing awesome. In this video, I wanted to talk about the cycle of Bitcoin, or I should say the cycles of Bitcoin in context to the halving. Right now, the halving, we have around 367 days and 6 hours away. So we're pretty much officially 1 year away from Bitcoin halving. And I thought I would just kind of drop this video again. I talked about this in video probably months ago, but I did a chart back in December, I think, December 18th, 2018, discussing the cycles of Bitcoin. I laid out this kind of parabolic long-term chart, and it really says a lot in terms of the consistencies of Bitcoin. So I'm not going to go into all of this, but I have an explanation of this chart for you to check out. I'll post a link in the description below. But we have Bitcoin halving around a year away. I tweeted earlier, $90,000 Bitcoin in 2021, taken from my cycles of Bitcoin chart. So here's the chart. You see it on the screen, and you can see the $90,000 Bitcoin in, on this hypothetical screen, I have May 2021, which is essentially a year after Bitcoin's next halving. Let's take a glance at the chart itself. So we have a few things going on here, right? There are 3 stages of a Bitcoin cycle that I have laid out on the chart. Number 1 is a halving. Number 2 is the all-time high. And then number 3 is a correction. Now, these yellow lines that you see are an extremely foundational part of my technical analysis on a daily time frame, on a 4-hour time frame, and I used it on a long-term time frame in terms of Bitcoin and its corrections, right? So if we take Fibonacci, just to show you what I'm doing here, to give you an example, the swing low back in the last bear market in 2014, 2015 to the all-time high that we had last year, or 2017, we have our Fibonacci channel, right? So we have our 618 to 786. It's that pullback channel that Bitcoin does so often, whether you're on a 4-hour chart, a daily chart, or yes, a weekly chart. That is this yellow line that you see right here extending out. Now, in all the cycles of Bitcoin, and this goes back to the 2016 halving, 2012 halving, you see the yellow lines back in 2016. Bitcoin did the same thing at its bottom, from swing low to swing high, and Bitcoin kind of wrapped around that 786 area of support. So we were anticipating this. When I posted this chart, you can actually see Bitcoin, and I'm trying to zoom in here for you to see. This was like December 18th, right? So we were actually right at the bottom of the bear market when I posted the chart, and you can see Bitcoin beginning to wrap around that 786 on the Fibonacci retracement. So here we are now, probably, I think it's 170%, close to 200% from when I posted that chart. We're up close to 200% in this current move for Bitcoin, a year away from the Bitcoin halving. So what I wanted to talk about is this. First off, how accurate is this chart that I have on the screen? It's completely hypothetical. I named this chart, the cycles of Bitcoin, speculative. It's 100% speculative. I'm not sitting here saying this is how it's going to play out exactly, but based on the consistencies of Bitcoin and its volatility, which sounds crazy and ironic that you can have such consistency in volatility, this is what I'm looking at on the charts. So many people might not be happy with that, right? $90,000 Bitcoin in 2021, like 2 years away, right? And that's only Bitcoin 10xing itself. You can go to altcoins right now, and altcoins have a way stronger potential to 10x themselves this year, right? So you really have to find your comfortable area in terms of risk tolerance and how you're investing in crypto. Don't listen to YouTubers. Even this video, don't take it as financial advice. I'm just trying to share some data with you. But what I wanted to talk about is essentially this. What you see on the screen, Bitcoin slowing down in terms of gains, right? So you can just look back here in the chart, April or May 2011. that high, that swing high to this swing high in November 2013, 3,600%, right? And then from that swing high to our all-time high that we had in 2017, 1,600%. And then hypothetically, what we have here, and I don't know where the triangle went, but right here, from that all-time high to the $90,000 speculative all-time high, 345%. So what is Bitcoin doing? It's slowing down in terms of parabolic gains. And you can see it on the chart. This parabolic curve that you see in Bitcoin and its long-term growth is leveling off. That doesn't mean that we won't have $1 million Bitcoin in the future, right? This curve can easily hit $1 million. I want to throw that out there. But I think it's important to note that Bitcoin isn't always going to see extremely volatile and parabolic gains year after year. It does slow down a little bit, right? So to put context to that, if we did hypothetically get a $90,000 Bitcoin in 2021, hypothetically a $281,000 Bitcoin in 2025 is only, and I say that only, is only around 3xing itself. So, I think it's important to really note that, right? Because the reason I say that, and it's something I've been personally thinking about, is the role that altcoins might play in your portfolio. And that might be on more of a short to midterm basis, right? Especially right now as Bitcoin and the markets are essentially seeming to enter its next phase, right? And its next phase is phase 2, on its way to all-time highs, right? And that's 1 year after the halving. So we're kind of out of that bear market area leading into that halving and then on to all-time highs. So with that in mind, I think it's important to really evaluate your portfolio. If you're long on Bitcoin, I think that's probably the smartest thing you can do. That's why we've been tracking Bitcoin so closely on this channel. Litecoin, obviously, as well. But other altcoins, interesting to balance your portfolio. If you have more of a high risk tolerance, it's something that I wanted to throw out there, and it's something that I'm personally going to be looking at. So I wanted to talk about that. In terms of Bitcoin on the upside, right? I don't want to put a barrier here for Bitcoin, $90,000 Bitcoin 2021. I don't want to say there's a wall there. I don't want to say that parabolic gains can't continue beyond that, right? Bitcoin can go crazy. And the one argument, there's many arguments. One argument I'll just throw out there for you is this. Bitcoin's current market cap, $140 billion. $140 billion. It is incredibly small. When you're on Twitter and YouTube and you have the same people, you're kind of entrenched in the social media aspect of crypto, and you're running around the same people, you're running into the same people on social media talking about Bitcoin. It's because it's a very small niche right now. It's a very small market. So we're seeing incredible gains on Bitcoin in an incredibly small market, right? Bitcoin itself, $140 billion market cap. Look at gold. Would you want to invest in gold? And this is the mindset shift that I believe is going to be happening soon. People will be shifting from this mindset of, this is back in 2013. This is zoomed out on the weekly, by the way, for gold. We're changing environments right now in terms of investments, in terms of portfolios, in terms of technology. And it's 100% incredibly important to note that we're moving into a world of innovative technology. And when it comes to payments, when it comes to investments, when it comes to store of value, the world will be shifting. The world will be shifting. So we have an $8 trillion market cap for gold, right? I'm not saying gold is a terrible thing, but the way the world works, everybody, is 100% changing. And when you have 140 billion, not even a quarter of a trillion market cap for a world changing, monetary system changing investment like Bitcoin, you better believe Bitcoin is going to catch up to the gold market cap. And what that will mean for price for Bitcoin, institutional investors, institutional money coming on board, insane innovations in the technology that we can't even fathom right now happening. $90,000, trust me, that's my speculative chart. There is no wall there. That could be broken like that, and I want to let you know that. This is my chart. I want to post it in the description below. I hope that you get some value from it. Let me know your thoughts below, what you think speculatively where Bitcoin might go. I'd be very interested to know. I appreciate you coming by. If you're here and you're not a subscriber, hit that subscribe button. I really appreciate it. I will see you all in the next video. Have a great day, and God bless.